Spoilers everywhere in this review, by the way. Let's talk about Marvel's Avengers. Have you ever saw a dessert that you wanted and then you got it and you were like, well, this could be better, but like, I'm gonna enjoy it for what it is? That's Marvel's Avengers. It's like they saw the Spider-Man game and went, oh, we could do that. That's easy. They didn't do that. It wasn't easy. There are elements of this game that are frustrating, but there are also elements of this game that I think are very enjoyable. So I played through the game for you guys, so let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? My name's Cliff, and this is Unpack That Bowl. Unpack That Bowl, the show where we take a deep dive into pop culture. On this episode of Unpack That Bowl, we're going to take a deep dive into the Marvel's Avengers video game and the problems that I got with it. See, they got to see me about these problems because you sold me on a good game. I thought it was going to be not the best game ever, but having just played Spider-Man, the best game for PS4, I was like, all right, give me some more superhero content. I'm down, and you sold me. All right. I'm not a hard sell on superhero content, so you didn't have to sell me at all, but you sold me. So playing this game, I found several elements of it that were just frustrating, and I want to talk about it because I think if you go into it and you buy it half off, it's a good buy, but full price, fuck no. All right, this is a broken game, but it's fun, right? It's a broken but fun game. It's like my household is broken but fun. But more importantly, let's talk about these elements. So first, looking at the gameplay, a lot of content in this game is taken from other games like Destiny or Uncharted. You go around looting and collecting things. I'm still not sure what those things do. It's not fun finding these things. The boxes, you don't have to punch them even. You just run into the boxes and you get the resources. You get gear. The gear doesn't affect how you look. It makes me not want to get your game. You need to incentivize me to collect these things. If I picked up this gear along the way and I actually saw it on my character, I know it's hard to animate that, but that would be really cool. Basically in this game, all you do is run around, you fight robots, and you punch walls. It's all the same thing throughout the game on different sets that are basically architecturally the same. The settings aren't that different. It's irritating. Like the snow and the desert settings are basically the same settings. There's not a lot of diversity visually in this game, and that's frustrating when you play a superhero game that's supposed to be colorful and different. Like in Spider-Man, the city is alive. You can go to different parts of the city and there's different landscapes. It's the same thing. I know it's in Utah. It's not a lot out in Utah. So why the fuck did you take your game to Utah? Like that's mind-boggling to me. Also, some levels seem to think that harder means throw more enemies at you, which it doesn't. It just makes things crowded and messy, and you can try and do a combo, but there's so much going on around you, you don't have time to react to certain things. That's not tactical. That means I have to get lucky, or eventually at a certain point, the timer on the game will run out, and you just beat one more guy, and that's it. These aren't challenges. It's a time obstacle. Now, all that said, the game wouldn't be fun if playing as these characters weren't so much fun. The repetitiveness of the game would have been dull if not for playing as Kamala or Iron Man or Black Widow wasn't so goddamn fun. That's the one thing this game nailed, is playing as these characters is actually fun, and it makes you go through the drones and the hitting the batteries and the shooting the wall and the punching the robot. It makes that fun, and it gets that right at least. It's hard choosing who you want to be with because like each character has their own different pros and their own cons. I think Kamala is the best overall character because she's the main character in the story. But then after her, I like playing as Black Widow a lot. Her grapple was really cool. Her grapple and her gun, nigga, with the gat, it actually felt so cool just shooting somebody. The final boss you take out with a gun, and I was like, oh, so it's just bullets, just regular bullets affect you? Some things in this story is also kind of stupid. But the story overall is alright. But that end boss fight where you switch between every character was really cool. And then you switch to Natasha and it's just pop, pop, pop. Or the end boss fight where you get as spoilers everywhere in this review, by the way. I don't know how I haven't said it yet, but everywhere in this review is spoilers. So before I ruin any of the story, dip out now, and unless you want to hear it, so spoilers. When you get really big, and you're Kamala, and you take down that big Kree robot, and it was like, hit B. I was already hitting B. Like I was on that shit. I was like, beat this nigga's ass, yo. That part of the game made it worth it. The end story, like I said, the story was all right. It was really good in the beginning, and then it was really good at the end. So it wasn't a bad game. It just has bad things inside of it, like glitches. This game just can't. It's a broken game. They released us a game before they finished making it. It's COVID. All y'all had to do was work on the game. You didn't have to go anywhere, and you gave us a game. Yo, bro, the amount of times this game glitched and I had to restart it. At one point, I cleared a whole room, and I was like, all right, let's go. What is the object? And I turned around, and there's an enemy trapped behind the door that's locked. So I couldn't clear the room, so I had to restart the mission. Certain times the game just actually glitches out, and I checked my internet. I was like, what the fuck has happened? No, it's the game. It's not even a disc. I downloaded it. It's a broken game. Why this game can't handle as much? The levels are so overcrowded. I talked about it, how like they just throw more enemies at you. Nigga, tone that down. Okay, focus more on making sure my game's not glitching out to where I can't see anything on the screen. My nigga Cat went invisible, and I was like, this is the final fight. Then Natasha let me go, nope, the game glitched out, and then I died. So, what? That just makes me mad. That's not even good gameplay. Subtitles aren't worth shit. Sometimes they just say whole different things than what's going on the screen. I was like, is that a different translation? Like, is that the script? Is that the backup script? Like, what happened there?
It's going to change the world.
I know. We made a mistake, George.
Don't call me that. George failed. MODOK won't.
It's the first time you use that name.
Or what we've become.
What are you saying?
Power cannot be controlled.
Huh? This is the subtitles.
Now, it has to be destroyed.
No.
Our sacrifice will be remembered, Captain.
Alright. The load screens. I hate them. Alright. I hate load screens in video games. That's me. Uncharted does it the best, where they give you a cutscene as the load screen. I think that's pretty cool. More games should do this, because I don't need to see just a boring screen. Fallen Order, I'm looking at you. These games give us just sit here and just wait for it to come back on. Oh look, you get tips in the corner. Nigga, fuck your tips. Alright? I already know how to play the game. I don't need your tips. I hate microtransactions, and a big part of this game is microtransactions. Buy the suits, buy this, buy that. Yo, this game has the worst collection of suits I've ever seen, especially when I'm comparing it to Spider-Man, who has the best collection of suits. These characters come from comic books, right? So, in all these comic books, these characters have different iterations of themselves. They have different skins and different costumes. Nigga, put them in them. Don't give me these lame, oh, dude, it hurt. It literally was like, I'm just not even going to acknowledge. Like some games, like 2K or Madden, I'll dabble in the microtransactions. You know, you gotta pay to play. It happens. $5 here, $5 there. But this game, wholeheartedly, I was just like, no, just out of my head. This game really has no personality. It's just boring. Beat up the bad guy. The best parts of the game are the cutscenes, which is not good. If you wanted to release an Avengers movie, you could have just did that. It just feels dull. It's just like, yo, go beat him up, go unlock the chest, hit the battery. Like, I've said these things, it's so repetitive. Like with Spider-Man, some of the missions were repetitive. Like, you stop the car chases and then you throw the thing, web it up. That's repetitive as hell. I get it, because it's car chases all over New York. But that's a very tiny part of the game. Majority of this game is that. Now, the characters make the game. In my opinion, playing as the characters, as I said before, really saved this game. Especially as playing as Iron Man or Black Widow or Kamala. I think these characters are some of the best characters to play as. Because Kamala is the best overall character. Tony's character can fly, and I feel like they do the best job with his powers. And Black Widow kinda is OP with her grappling hook and her guns. She got the gat. She always strapped. So between those three characters, I think they really drive the story, and they're really the most playable characters. Thor is a close fourth, but then like Cap is after Iron Man because his double jump is kind of weak. He's the only one that really can't fly. Like Kamala and Black Widow can basically swing like Spider-Man. Iron Man can fly. Thor can fly. The Hulk can jump super far. Cap, you kind of lacking out here. And the Hulk is a fun character to play as well, but like it feels like they did the less with him. The whole game is punching shit and smashing shit, and the Hulk is like, alright, yeah, I'm out here. What? Nigga, what? No, that's not right. Story-wise, I like the story. I like it a lot. I think you could have failed as well, and if the story was bad, it would have really tanked. But walking around in the beginning as Kamala at A-Day, it was really cool running into each hero. And then at the end, when they tied that back into the beginning, and you're like, yo, oh, that's the squad. That really sold the story for me. I think it's just a Marvel movie, you know, and if you don't like Marvel movies, you might not like this story. But I think it's better than something like Thor: The Dark World. So, I don't know. Playing this game, I had fun. It does have replayability because I can see myself popping it back in and amping up the level. I played it on normal so I can rush through it and give you guys this review, but it has some replayability, and that says something about the game. That being said, it has too many faults, and I think several elements of the story could have been better. Like, let me beat more villains. I've never fought so little supervillains in a superhero game. Like, we fought Abomination and then a bunch of robots. So you need to do something. Add more stuff to your game. I don't know, man. It just felt too reliant on a multiplayer aspect of the game, and as someone who really enjoys single player aspects of games, like, I think I just wanted a single player Avengers game. I don't know if I wanted this multiplayer world building aspect. It is cool playing as your friends, but I don't know, I wanted the single player aspect. Anyway guys, if I had to give this game an overall rating, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. It's not bad, but it's just above average. Thanks for watching guys, my name's Cliff, and this has been Unpack That Bull. Peace. And then we see Drogon blasting through the city.
In a chair.
And Shrek was pretty. I maybe wash the shit off my hands, and then we peel it off. I've heard of buoyancy related to like boats and like, for example, how little compromise with evil is okay as long as it all works out in the end, right? Pop, pop. He had it with the shield. He said, ha, ha, ha. Everyone was flaming him too.
Fuck that, dude.
Everyone was flaming.
We racing the roof.
Like, do something if it means everything or whatever the fuck it said. I guess.
Never wanted you to work.
I did. I'm so proud.
I'm sorry.
And then